Finally, you caught one.
I've caught them, I'm just not filming myself, I'm filming you. Good morning, good morning. Getting a little bit of Feliz Navidad going. Ryan, what did you do to this one? Decapitated. Palm fishing on the beach. Boy's got issues. Boy's got issues. Palm fishing on the beach, got the full spread out. Just got fresh line. And it feels good.
Tell them the score.
The score is, it's probably about 3 to 4, something like that. Caught some fish this morning. Ryan, my intern, just got here. He's looking for a couple of fish this morning as well. Show you what we're working with so far. They are some chunky ones. Some chunky ones right there. Got a little bit of ice down on the bottom. Got the hooked aluminum fabrication cart. Loving this thing, makes it real easy to pick up and move. But yeah, we got the full spread out right now. 6 rods, looking for some pompanos. We'll show you the rigs, show you the stuff. I do a lot of this fishing this time of year, so you're gonna see it. Today we're looking for a little bit of catching and eating, a little bit of catching and selling. If I can go out and make a couple $100 on the beach with no expenses, that's a good day. Not looking to get rich out here, just looking to have fun, do what I like to do, and make a couple bucks at it. So, Ryan's going down for some fleas though. He's got my mega rake, my mega flea rake. A couple fleas popping up. It's all about the timing. Right there, as the water's going down, you can see that like rough patch right there. So Ryan, it's that, when the water's going down, you see like that rough patch right there? No, that's the fleas. Ryan normally just goes at random. Let's see if he gets them. Doing a little surface scrape. There's several different techniques you can use while scooping fleas. That was a little surface scrape. My rake's really big, but it's not really good for digging down deep, especially if the sand is at all hard. It's a lot of weight and it's hard to get it down there deep in the sand. But I'm sure you got a few. How many you got?
Good fleet.
Oh yeah, that's candy right there. That'll be enough for 15 casts, something like that. A couple fleas on each rig. But we'll get back with you when we get some action.
What are you doing?
Oh, he's got him. He's got the tree shaker.
Bonnet head.
See like a bonnet head? Bonnet head or pomp?
Like a 5-pound pomp.
5-pound pompano head? Pompa head. The GoPro curse is true today. We hit them pretty good. I mean, so good. They were just on for a little bit. Got like 6 or 7 fish. Oh, Fred was diving on it. 6 or 7 fish, and then it died. And then Ryan thought he got a really big fish on, but it's probably a shark. I guess the shark's still a fish, but might not be what we're looking for. I haven't seen that dorsal fin yet though. Oh, it switched directions too. That's not a normal bonnet head thing. That don't look like a bonnet head. Right, that ain't a bonnet head. Hold him up.
Dude, freaking 5-pound pomp,
It's not a 5-pound pomp. 2.
What, 6?
2.5.
7?
2.5. Nice one though. Ryan, what do you got to say about that rig? It's not luck. Threw out some blanched fleas because just why not? Blanched fleas, I think a lot of the time outfish live, and on days like this when it's calm and you can cast real far easily with a little bit of offshore wind, I think blanched fleas are a great way to go. Orange fleas, orange line, orange float. Ryan's going swimming for that one. Another pompano on the blanched flea. The blanched fleas, but Ryan threw the camera down. Filming that beautiful kingfish.
Not the kingfish I'm looking for.
You're looking for that slime ball kingfish? I rushed my cast and threw off one of the fleas on that one. Now this is what I was trying to show you before. Those are the blanched fleas. I usually have them if the bait shops don't have fleas and you need some fleas and you're in the area, the Brevard area, and you want to buy some, let me know. I usually have those pretty stocked up. But we also got live fleas. Ryan's scooping some more right now. We got all the rods set. Tree shake, I'll get them. That was on that one you casted, so that was probably pretty shallow, pretty close to shore. Dang, Ryan, you're catching them all. Going down the beach, going down the beach. Signature of a pompano. That is crazy. That one rod has caught like most of the fish. Over it? Yeah. All right, teamwork. I'm gonna drop it down. Ryan can walk right over it. Pop it back up. That's the danger zone. This is where Ryan would typically lose them if he was gonna lose the fish, but he's walking all the way into the water. Oh, I saw that pomp flash. Whoa. All right, Ryan, you got him. He's like, what is that thing? He's more interested in the GoPro. You were just playing the drums, Jojo. Da 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 da. Oh, he's probably looking at himself on the screen. Da 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 da. Da. What you got? You hungry? You hungry, Jojo? Oh. We'll save him for pompano. Got him on again. Give him a little swing up here. Oh, he's all wrapped up. There we go. Appreciate it.
Finally, you caught one.
I've caught him. I'm just not filming myself. I'm filming you.
Actually, you haven't even caught it.
You're at your limit. You're gonna have to stop. Brian's not allowed to catch more than 6. That one's almost dead. The exciting life of reeling in a pompano. That thing hit it hard though. Pompano, hooked in the chin.
Oh yeah, that's him.
That's why he fought hard. He was hooked in the chin. Tons of surf fishing to be had this time of year. I will be doing a lot of it. I've already been doing a lot of it. I film maybe a third or quarter of the time I go surf fishing and still get a ton of surf fishing footage for y'all. Now, I'm gonna show you my rigs. I know I said I was gonna do it in the video and I didn't. I've shown you before, but this is my rig tying kit. It's kind of like my box that I have. I have a bunch of other stuff too, but this is what I typically use. If I'm gonna make a rig, I got everything I need right in there. So I'll tie rigs 2 different ways. and show you what I like to use and kind of go over just a little bit more detail of what I'm looking for when I go surf fishing. So first we're gonna go over the rig. Got my line. This is Tsunami fluorocarbon 30 pound. I use 20 or 30 pound depending on the conditions. If I think there's fish around and I'm not catching them, I'll drop down to 20, but I would prefer to catch fish on 30 pound because it lasts longer. I mean, it's gonna be definitely stronger against fish like bluefish and ladyfish and stuff that really chafe you up or cut you off, and just catch more fish on them. So first I got my hook. This is a Tsunami, or my swivel, I'm sorry, my Tsunami swivel. It's like a 40 or 50 pound swivel. Nice little swivel. I like the low profile. Tie a uni knot to that. And again, I'm gonna show you two different ways to do it. One's when I just wanna tie one rig real quick. If I'm just got a couple minutes to sit around, tie a rig. The other way is if I'm looking to tie 10, 20, 30, 40 rigs. So got my uni knot. I'll trim off the tag in there, and that's the only tag I trim. So next I'm going to come down about, I don't know, 1.5 feet or so. And these are your dropper loops. You can look at the knots in more detail. I don't use a tying board. I know my rigs aren't all consistent. I don't think it matters at all. So got one loop. This is going to be a 3-hook rig. I only suggest 3-hook rigs if you have pretty much unlimited bait. Very rarely do I catch 3 fish at a time. I've had a couple pompano 3 hooks, 3 fish on one rig once. Got another one. And this will be my last one. Again, this is with no board. A lot of people use the boards for tying them, and it makes it more consistent, makes it a little easier, especially if you're struggling a little bit with these knots, but I've tied up several thousand of them, so they come pretty quickly to me. Then I cut that off. So now I got my rig is all tied. I just got to add a snap onto the bottom. I don't use a snap swivel. I just use a snap. This is a little Tsunami snap. Again, it's light. I don't remember, like 30 or 40 pounds, something like that. And this is just what I clip my lead onto. I do the uni knot at the top, and then at the bottom, I do a fisherman's knot. I think that's what it's called. I don't know. It's the knot I learned to tie when I was little. It's definitely not as strong as the uni. It's not as pretty as the uni. It's faster than the uni, and it breaks easier than the uni. So if just my lead gets snagged on something, hopefully you'll get back some of your rig, and if you're in a hurry, you can tie another lead right on. Now, the bottom, tons of different hooks. Probably the most common hook you see on all the rigs is these Eagle Claw hooks. I use the Eagle Claw hooks. I use the Tsunami Salt X offset circle hooks. I like them too. And I like the Perfect Circle hook by Tsunami, both in 1/0s. This is a 2/0 Eagle Claw, and I'm not cutting the loop. I'm just leaving the loop intact, going through the eye of the hook and wrapping the hook onto the line like so. Just like you see on all the pompano rigs. Now, bottom hook, I never put a float on it. Top hook, I always put a float on it. Middle hook, sometimes I put a small float on it, sometimes I don't. There's that. And on the top hook, this is a new float I've really been liking. These are made by Gulfstream Lures. Super cool little float. Got a ton of different float options, just kind of whatever I'm liking in the moment. So got that on there. Then we're gonna get our hook on there. Now, Gulfstream Lures came out with these. They also have their own rigs tied with these floats. And something pretty unique about it is it's a float hook float. So you could leave it like that. That's how a lot of rigs are. But I find, get one wrap on your finger, hold the float there, jam that float on there. Now that float's not going anywhere. I like to fish them like that. You'll see in my videos a lot of times the stuck like that. Then I wrap up my whole rig. I keep the hooks on the bottom. I'm wrapping the line above the hanging hooks. When you unwrap these, sometimes it takes 20 seconds. Sometimes it takes a couple minutes. It gets a little tangled up. There may be more of an art form to wrapping them up. If there is, I don't know it, and that's the way I do it. I put it in my little bags. These are, you can order these bags. I think I got them on Uline. It's like a packing supply company sort of thing, or office supply company, I guess. These are 2.5 inch by 3 inch. They might be 2 inch by 3 inch. I don't remember. Little polyester bags. There we go. So now it's all ready to roll. I'm pretty much guaranteed to have at least 40 rigs on me at all times when I'm surf fishing. I just like to be stocked up. I don't want to go out the next day and be like, man, I really wish I had rigs. Okay, now I said I was going to show you a couple different ways. That's start to finish, a lot of talking involved. Took a lot more time than necessary. We'll show you the way now if I'm tying a lot of rigs. If I'm tying a lot of rigs, I'm skipping the swivel, going there. And this is more like assembly line style. I'm not going to go over what I'm doing because I just showed you. I'm doing another 3-hook rig. I'm just spacing it out what I feel appropriate. Make my dropper loops. And again, this is no board. Just do them nice and quick, estimating my distances, and tends to work for me right there. So that's one. That's a full rig, all tied up. All it needs is the hardware now. So I take that and I throw it on the ground, and then I tie another and another and another. And since there's no swivels, no knots at the end, no snaps, no hooks, they're not gonna get tangled. I can make a pile of 40 of those, and then I come back in and finish the rig. I tie my swivels and put my hooks and floats and all that and bag them up. Saves a lot of time if you're doing bulk. I think it's better like that, especially if you have someone you fish with. You can kind of have a pile between you. You're tying the rigs, they're finishing the rigs. Then we'll show you one more rig start to finish without slowing it down. This is once you tie a bunch of them, I mean, you'll definitely get faster at it. You can play with different spacing, especially if you're only doing 2-hook rigs, which again is what I suggest for most people. It's going to save you some money on bait. I always trim the tag end off on the swivel as soon as I tie it on. I don't do it because I think the fish care. I do it because when you're taking the rig out of the bag, it'll get tangled and be a lot harder to take out if you have a tag end on that swivel. That swivel needs to be able to slide out and have less drag on stuff. One other thing I've done on rigs before too, if you've been watching the channel for a while, all of my rigs used to be like this. I used to cut the dropper loop and then tie my hook on, and I do think it's better. I think it's less line for the fish to see if they're going to be picky. I also think it's not necessary most days. It takes a lot longer to tie the rig, and I think it's just a big extra step. So we got our 3 loops done. We're just going to tie the exact same rig we just did on the first one, just kind of more at full speed. And this is something I can do. I like to do just sitting on the couch, watching TV, hanging out, only halfway paying attention to what you're doing, because there ain't a whole lot to it. Throw a couple hooks on there, float. We're gonna do the same thing, no float in the middle on this one. And we'll do another float on the top. They had orange last time, but they got yellow ones, they got pink ones. Those are the 3 colors I have, yellow, orange, and pink. Probably my favorite in that order. I really like yellow a lot, like a fluorescent yellow. Really like orange a lot too. Pink's kind of like my least favorite, but some days, I don't know if it's just a coincidence that that's the rig the fish are hitting, or it could be because my rigs are inconsistent. That could be the right spacing they want. I don't know. Like I said, wrap on the finger, jam that float on there. That's a finished rig. So the tackle I use in the video, my rods and reels, Tsunami Shield reel. It's a nice budget-friendly reel, right around $100. And 2 different rods. You got the Tsunami Airwaves, which are really light, a lot more fun for fighting the fish. I shouldn't say really light. They're just lighter than the other rod I use. The other rod is the Trophy Series surf rod, also made by Tsunami. That's a stiffer, heavier rod. I think it casts a heavier lead better, but the Trophy or the Airwave's a lot more fun for fighting fish. So extra heavy 12-footers for both of them. 15 to 20 pound braid, 20 pound braid, I would say. If you want 15, you'll know it. takes a little bit more finesse when casting. You'll break it off if you're not careful. But there you go. 2 rigs tied up. 2.5, got that one on the floor. I'm going to tie about 40 or 50 of those right now. Start stocking back up on some rigs. Thank you very much for watching the video. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And I will see you in the next video. Good luck this pompano season.